What's up guys, Cody here. Today I'm going to be looking at Twisted Fate, his runes, masteries, and items. So starting with items, we're going to be looking at his most popular build and his highest win build according to GG. So his most popular build is Lichbane, Sorcerer's Shoes, Ludens, Zhonya's Void Stat Death Cap. And his highest win rate is Rod, Lucidity, Lichbane, Death Cap, Zhonya's Void. So obviously, Death Cap Void Staff is pretty self-explanatory, along with the Lichbane. Lichbane synergizes very well with TF's kit. As far as what's different between the two builds, the most popular build has Sorc Shoes and Ludens, which is very good for poking out with your Qs. Very good in seed situations. However, the reason why the Rod with Lucidity Boots ends up having a higher win rate, generally speaking, is because Rod is a better item than Ludens for TF, as it provides more usefulness in terms of what TF can do with those extra stats. The extra health Rod gives TF is good for when he goes to ult into a team fight or he's trying to chase someone down, as he don't have to worry as much about dying with this or getting bursted down. It also gives Twisted Fate more mana, which is something that you may find yourself running out of a lot if you just have a Lichbane as your only mana item. With that, they also bring Lucidity Boots, and the reason why Lucidity Boots is generally speaking better than Sorcery Shoes is because it allows TF to use Flash and Ghost more often. This allows Twisted Fate to get more stuns off and catch more people out. And yeah, the Zhonya's is just there just so that way you have some type of ability to outplay, or want to just be dodging things in the fight, or just help you survive. The armor is also very nice for the type of meta we have right now with the heavy lethality. Other items that you can get on Twisted Fate, if you want a better early game, I for one will take out Rod of Ages for an Abyssal Scepter. And this allows me to do better early game, as Rod takes time to stack up. While if I just buy a straight Negatron Cloak and then build into Lichbane, it allows me to get some resistances and then build into some damage, so that way I can fight my opponent very easily. If you're ahead, then Rod is generally better, but if you feel like you really need that early resistances, then you can build an Abyssal Scepter. For other items you can get on Twisted Fate, if you want to build that rapid fire cannon on him, go ahead. It is actually not troll. Froggen did an LCS and people are like, well, how useful is it really? Because, it's not like this is new or anything. But it's actually pretty good. Having that increased stun range is something that is going to catch people off guard a lot. And while you do sacrifice damage for it, you're going to be able to catch out people more often. If the enemy doesn't really have a lot of tanks, you can definitely go this item. And finally, I'm going to be talking about is Hextech GLP 800. Like I said before, I don't like getting Rod often because it provides a weak early game for me. Granted, it's great mid-late, but if I can't win early game, then what does it matter, right? So Hextech GLP is my substitute for Rod. When I feel like I don't need Zhonya's for a game, I will generally buy Hextech GLP. And the reason being is just because it gives stats like Rod. It also gives a slow that you can utilize fairly easily by you stun. Once the stun's up, you slow them, and then you stun them again. Yeah, it's a very underutilized item, I feel like. And if you want a better early game by not having to go Rod, but still want stats like Rod, you can get this as like your third end. For runes on Twisted Fate, generally speaking, it's best to just go with a simple AP page of Magic Pen Reds, MR Blues, Armor Yellows, AP Quints. You can, if you want to, swap out the MR for cooldown reduction, or the armor for health scaling, or flat health, depending upon what you want, what the situations are, what you're going to be building, etc. As for Masteries, everyone typically goes 12-18-0, taking Thunderlords. Well, that's gonna be it for this, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe if you did. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below the video. And yeah, thanks, guys. See you in the next one.